Hey, welcome to my channel. This is Ominous Prime, and this is going to be another Let's Talk segment. This is going to be kind of a continuation of what I spoke of yesterday. We're going to be talking about Sega and whether or not Microsoft's going to purchase them. All right. So, with the last Let's Talk in regards to the Bethesda acquisition, I had stated that I believe that Microsoft's going to be purchasing, Sega. It's a rumor that comes up like every year. It just seemed like with the big moves that they were making right now with the new generation, it made sense for them to go ahead and make that deal happen. Now, like late last night, before TGS, which I watched this morning. They had indicated that they weren't going to be making any announcements in regards to like any new acquisitions. So that pretty much said that they weren't going to say, "Hey, Sega's now part of our team," right? It doesn't mean that there's no deal in the works or any kind of partnership. It just means that they're not doing anything right now. Now, could mean that I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm misreading things, or maybe Sega's having a laugh with us, and that's all right. I still think it would be a smart move for Microsoft to get a foothold in Japan with Sega, or if not Sega, another company that brings something different to the games library that they currently have. I mean, for the most part, the Microsoft's covered their bases with the different studios that they've picked up, but it wouldn't hurt for them to at least make some kind of partnerships and inroads with some of the Japanese developers and possible publishers. Other people have talked about, hey, Microsoft's going to purchase like Capcom. And given how Capcom likes to, they seem a little bit more like they would prefer to work with Sony and Nintendo. Well, Nintendo to an extent. Um, they tend to be a little bit more centric towards the Japanese market, but then they port over to the Microsoft platforms. Kind of like it always feels like to me like an afterthought, but I think it would. I don't know. In my head, the Sega one made more sense because of the history that they have. They worked together, going as far back as the Dreamcast, with getting Windows CE set up on the Dreamcast, and when the Dreamcast, kind of went to the wayside, you may notice that the original Xbox controller looked very similar to the Dreamcast controller in terms of like form and function. Um, the Xbox controller, the old Duke as they call it, added the additional control stick on there, the right hand stick. But um, that's pretty much it for what's going on as far as like Sega goes. They had, I don't know, I was expecting more from Sega with the TGS with everything that was going on. They did have like a few announcements during the Microsoft presentation that they had going for Xbox, and it was going to sound weird, but the one game that I wasn't expecting to see there that kind of made me happy was RType. That they have a new RType that's coming, so that's exciting to me. But other than that, we got to see more of the same types of games, and we got a new trailer for The Medium, which looks really good. Um, my wife and I we talked about it, and for the channel, I think we're gonna do kind of like a let's play, or as I put it, Ominous Prime plays Um, but I want to include her in the experience because we don't tend to play a lot of horror games, and I think it would be something kind of fun to play because there's also puzzle elements to it. And it, if we get to any point where it's like, you know what, I don't want to play this part. How about you play it? I think we're going to be passing the controller back and forth through that one. But otherwise, those are my thoughts on what happened today as far as video game news. We did get also the price for the Xbox Series X and Series S memory stick that's made by Seagate. It's going to be $219.99, so essentially $220. Keep in mind, it's basically a portable SSD that is as fast as the one that's installed inside of the consoles, and it provides 1 terabyte of storage capacity, and you don't have to move, the installed games off of the card and then place it onto the system in order to play it like you would with an HDD. If you wanted to use that, you can, to go and store your games on there as like a backup, but then when you're ready to play, you got to transfer, at least for the series console games, you have to, from what I understand, transfer them onto the SSD. That way you can take advantage of the speed of the hard drive, or sorry, the solid state drive. So it's kind of like just shuffling things back and forth if you wanted to. Now the good news is if you have an HDD already set up with, like, say, your Xbox One X or Xbox One S, and you've got a bunch of games already installed on there for the Xbox One, you can bring that over and just plug it right into your Series X or Series S console, and you can play those games without having to move them over. And it's not going to take advantage of the speed that you would get with SSD, but you can play them as if you were playing them on the Xbox One. So for some, that might just be a convenience, but I don't have anything set up like that for myself. Everything I have, for the most part, with a few exceptions, I purchase physically. I prefer to have the physical disc. But I think I'm going to call it a night here. Like I said in the beginning, if you want to be part of the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Drop a like if you liked the video. Give a dislike if you didn't. Leave comments if you'd like to give any advice. I'd be happy to listen to any, since it's a new channel, and I would like to improve things here for you so that you can enjoy coming to this channel and see new content. All right, have a good night. Ominous Prime is going to bed.